What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another Hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your Hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. But anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Blaze Phoenix, who is going to be on Mermail, versus Extra Power, who is going to be on Bujins. It looks like they already did the rock, paper, scissors, and Extra Power is going to start this game out. Opening hands, we have Megalo, Teus, Turge, Sphere, and Pike, a very strong hand. And on the other side, we see Breakthrough Skill, Tanky, Duality, Hair, and Upstart Goblin, and they will get to draw for turn here, drawing into a copy of Yamato, which is obviously, the namesake of the deck, so very good draw there. Going for Duality, revealing Lance, Crane, and Yamato, and they're going to take a second to think. They are going to grab that copy of Lance, which, would show that they probably did have something like a Tenki or Yamato already, which here they're going to go for the Tenki, adding a copy of Mikazuchi. So by this point, Blaze Phoenix should know that he already had a copy of Yamato, activating Upstart Goblin and drawing into another copy of Tenki. They won't be able to use it this turn, unfortunately, but they are going to summon the Yamato and then set to back row, going to end phase using the Yamato to add a copy of Crane and send the copy of Hair from hand to grave. After that, Blaze Phoenix is going to draw for turn, getting a copy of Allure. And from here, they're going to take a second to think. And they're going to go for the Teus, discarding the Turge, summoning the Teus, activating the Teus effect, and adding a copy of Gund here. From here, they're going to normal summon Pike, discarding Gund as cost to activate effect, and add a copy of Marksman. Then the Gund is going to target the Turge, trying to summon it back, which is going to work. Then Turge is going to activate, discarding the Marksman, targeting the copy of Gund. And here, Extra Power is going to use that Breakthrough Skill on the Turge, not allowing them to get the resource in Gund back. And honestly, depending on, maybe they were just waiting to see how much gas Blaze Phoenix really had to use that Breakthrough Skill on. Because if not, maybe stopping something like the Pike or maybe even the Teus, probably the Pike realistically would have been the better play. But regardless, Mermail, sometimes if they open really well, it doesn't matter if you stop one of those, if they can, keep going. But here, they are still going to get the Marksman trigger, and they are going to try to pop the Lance. The Lance is going to be chained for the Teus. That way, just making it a little weaker. After that, they're going to go and overlay for a copy of Lavalval Chain, use the effect detaching the Pike and sending a copy of Title. Go for Title's effect, banishing 2, and then here overlaying for a copy of Big Eye to take the Yamato. Obviously, Extra Power didn't have a turtle engrave or anything, and so that is a way to play around, Hair being able to stop the destruction, as well as, obviously they had searched the copy of Crane and Mikazuchi, so it plays really well into this board. From here, going to battle phase, attacking with Yamato and Lavalval Chain. And after that, main phase 2, setting the copy of Sphere and back over to Extra Power, who draws a copy of Bujin Carnation, which is very good. And here, activating Tenki to add a copy of Harume, banishing the Hair for Harume's summon. And then from here, they're going to take a second to think. They're going to summon the Mikazuchi, overlaying for a copy of Direwolf. And they're going to use the effect, going for the back row. Here, Sphere is going to be chained to summon the copy of Gund. Gund is going to be destroyed via the Sphere, and they're going to summon a copy of Lead, obviously doing that just to clear the back row in case it was a Breakthrough Skill or, a handful of other spell or traps it could be. And now the Bujin Carnation is live, so they will be able to activate that, I would assume, which they are, summoning the Mikazuchi and Hair. And from here, it kind of reminds me of the Jeff Jones video of him playing Bujins against Infernity, going for the Susanoo, detaching the Hair, adding a copy of Yamato, and here going to battle phase, attacking over their, previously owned Yamato, attacking over the Lavalval Chain, and here Hair's going to be able to activate, and they are going to attack into Big Eye. Obviously, this gains 200 attack because there's 2 Tenkis, so here they're just doing that to protect it so that these can crash in and he doesn't have to use the Crane, because I'd assume if they're going to attack over the Lead as well, they're going to want the Crane to do that, which they are going to do. And so here dropping the Crane, making it have more damage. And over to Blaze Phoenix, who gets a copy of Soul Charge, so that, if there's one card to really get them back in the game here, it is Soul Charge. And looking at Extra Power's Grave, they don't have any protection either. So, you know, depending on what they do, this could be a very big turn for them. And they're going to take a second to think. They are going to go Soul Charge, bringing back Lead, Teus, Turge, Pike, and Lynn. So yeah, just going for 5, leaving them at only 300 life, going for the Pike effect, discarding Megalo to add a copy of Undyne. After that, they're going to use Lead to tribute off the Teus to get rid of that Yamato in hand. After that, you know, making sure they don't have follow-up, and then normal summoning Undyne to send Dragoons, adding a copy of Controller. Dragoons triggers to add a copy of Infantry. Now the Allure's live, so they can activate that, drawing into Breakthrough Skill and a copy of Max C, banishing the Controller, overlaying for a copy of Rhapsody and Berserk, using the effect twice, banishing 1 Yamato and the Breakthrough Skill in Graveyard. After that, overlaying for a copy of Mequip Engineer, using the title in Graveyard to summon, overlaying for a copy of Dracosac to get, and then use the effect to get 2 tokens, using one of the tokens, tributing it off to pop the Susanoo, setting the Breakthrough Skill, activating the Rhapsody and Berserk to equip to the Mequip Engineer, and over to Extra Power, who is in a really tough spot. They're going to get a Duality for turn, use it, revealing Yamato, Upstart, and Carnation, getting the Yamato, putting back the others, and I don't think it's going to be enough to break it. Yeah, here on summon, the Breakthrough Skill's activated, so they can't even try to dump something. Going to battle phase, running over the token, and over to Blaze Phoenix, who gets a copy of Teus, which is, you know, a crazy draw. Obviously, being able to reveal the Teus, discard the Infantry for cost, summon itself, and that is enough for Extra Power to scoop it up. You know, just the Infantry would pop the Yamato, and they just weren't in a great place. But this time, Extra Power will get to start out again. Opening hands, we see Sphere, Teus, Soul Charge, MST, and Pike. And on the other side, we see Duality, Honest, Hair, Tenki, and Bottomless. And they will get a draw for turn here, getting a copy of Bujingi Turtle. So to start this one out, they're going to go with the Duality, revealing Torrential, DD Crow, and what was that, a Yamato? And they are going to take the copy of Torrential here. After that, they're going to use Tenki to add the copy of Yamato. After that, summon Yamato, set 2 back row, end phase Yamato effect, add Mikazuchi, sending, this time, the Hair again, over to Blaze Phoenix, who gets another copy of Abyss Sphere. They're going to summon the Pike, use the effect, getting rid of the Teus here, adding a copy of Undyne for follow-up. After that, just setting 3 back row and back over to Extra Power, who gets a copy of MST. And they're going to normal summon the Mikazuchi and go to battle phase, just trying to do as much damage as possible and apply a lot of pressure. Main phase 2, and then into end phase, it looks like in main phase 2, they're going to activate Sphere, but obviously the MST is going to be chained to that. After that, another Sphere is going to be able to be activated, this time summoning the copy of Lind. And it looks like Extra Power's thinking they're going to go end phase, and here, obviously having priority here, they are having the Yamato add a copy of, I think that was another Yamato there, and then getting rid of the turtle, and then Mikazuchi, because a Bujin monster was sent from hand to graveyard this turn, they're able to add the copy of Carnation here. After that, it looks like an MST is going to be activated from Blaze Phoenix and end phase, popping the Torrential, and then the Sphere is going to resolve, getting rid of the Lind, and Lind is going to summon a copy of Lead. Here, Blaze Phoenix draws into a copy of Gund, and they're going to go summon Undyne, use the effect, sending the Dragoons for cost, adding a copy of Controller. Dragoons is going to trigger, and they're going to get a copy of Heavy Infantry. After that, they are going to take a second to think. They are going to go for Soul Charge, getting Dragoons and Pike. And just that, and Bottomless is going to be able to be activated. Obviously, the Pike is still able to trigger, discarding the Gund here. And they get to add another copy of Undyne here. The Gund is going to trigger and summon back. We'll see here. Taking a little bit of time to think. It is a important thing. And they're going to summon the Teus. Okay. And from here, overlaying into a copy of Dracosac, detaching the Lead to get 2 tokens. And they can't go to battle phase here because of Soul Charge, and it is caught right away. So here they are going to pass. I was kind of wondering why they put the Dracosac in attack, but let it play out just a little bit here. I know people have kind of commented on that in the past. And anyways, over to Extra Power, who gets a DD Crow for turn. Very strong here, overlaying right away into a copy of Susanoo, but they say, wait, why'd they get rid of both materials? I'm not entirely sure there. But here they are just attacking over everything, and yeah, okay, it looks like Blaze Phoenix scoops it up there. I'm not exactly sure what happened with the material, but maybe they were just pointing out that they had game, so it didn't really matter. And anyways, into game number 3, Blaze Phoenix will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see lead, MST, Soul Charge, Teus, and Pike. Pretty strong hand here. And on the other side, we see Lance, MST, Maxi, Tenki, and Turtle. So also a pretty solid hand from Extra Power here. Obviously, Blaze Phoenix will get to draw for turn, getting a copy of Lin, so very strong hand, honestly. Going Teus, discarding the lead. Special summoning Teus effect to add Gund here, then normal summoning Pike, discarding the Gund, and adding the Undyne. So here it's actually interesting that Extra Power was holding the Max C here. Maybe they didn't really want just a draw 1 off of the Teus, but here now that the Gund is triggering, they are going to chain that Max C, summoning back the lead, and here they drew into a copy of Yamato. After that, they are going to use the lead effect, getting rid of the Pike to discard a random card, so kind of making them go negative anyways, hitting the MST, which is very strong, and then just passing on 2 very big bodies after setting that MST, so now they are just going to pass here over to Extra Power, who gets a copy of Duality, a very strong draw for them. So now let's see how they end up playing this turn out. So here they are going to use the Duality right away, revealing Warning, Tenki, and DD Crow, adding the copy of Warning and putting the others back. From here, they are going to take a second to think. They're going to go for Tenki, but that is met with the MST, but they already do have the Yamato, which is pretty solid. They're going to set 2 back row and just go to end phase. Unfortunately, they can't out either of the monsters because they didn't have a crane or anything here, and so they're going to add Hair, send Hair, and over to Blaze Phoenix, who gets a copy of Infantry. And from here, they're going to switch the Teus to attack, use the lead, and tribute off the Teus in case that is something like a crane or honest or anything like that. And after they see that it isn't, unfortunately, it is the turtle, so, that does make Yamato a little more protected in a sense. And they're going to take a second to think, but here they are going to summon Undyne, and that is going to eat the warning. So next, after that, the Soul Charge can be activated, and summoning back Teus, Pike, Gund, and Undyne. So, in a situation like this, Bujin can be a much slower deck, and so Soul Charge can really be, taken advantage of in a deck like Mermail that can just easily fill the graveyard and stuff like that. And having to use so many resources like Mermail, just because of Undyne sending for cost and stuff like that, and the Atlanteans and stuff, it just makes clearing boards really easily or baiting through things. So the Soul Charge can be, I would say, taken advantage of very, very well here. And so after that, Pike is going to be able to activate its effects, sending the Infantry here, adding another copy of Undyne, and then Infantry is going to attempt to pop the Yamato, but the Hair is going to manage to protect it. After that, Alucard is going to be summoned to try to pop that back row, and the Lance will be chained to it. Not really sure what they targeted there, but next they are going to overlay into Abyss Gaios, pass it over to Extra Power, who gets a copy of Twister. Unfortunately, not a great draw there. They're going to go to battle phase and run over the Pike. And after that, go to end phase to use the effect. Gaios is going to chain to that to negate it. And here, Blaze Phoenix draws a Lind, and they might be able to just wrap it up here, summoning Undyne, sending Title, adding Controller. After that, banishing for the Title, and switching that card to attack, going to battle phase. Gaios over the Yamato, and Alucard in, Undyne, and Title. And I believe that is game almost. Not quite enough, but, there's not really many good cards they can draw into here. Obviously, drawing Chalice isn't going to do it. And that is going to be it. Blaze Phoenix ends up taking this one with Mermail, and a really cool back and forth, honestly. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to see what's coming, and realistically, this was a very good showing of why Soul Charge is such a good card. I know I had recently put out a video at the time of recording this, talking about, Soul Charge and its place in the format, and it's definitely a very, very good card, and in certain matchups, it does just steal games. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost, if you thought it was a good match, or you were showing off a cool deck, or your opponent was on a cool deck. Definitely feel free to send it in. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see replays like that. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.